Hey, Cynthia Online. D-Train. Hey, guys. Thank you for jumping on. Hello. Hello. Thank you for jumping on. Hey, AJ. Thank you for inviting your followers, Cynthia. Appreciate you. Hey, Connie. Thank you for jumping on, guys. Mr. Jones. Thank you guys for jumping on. Thank you guys for jumping on. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who know me, I'm TenishaBibbs. Hey, Connie. If you guys can share this with your followers and also tap those screen for their hearts, I greatly appreciate them. I do. So, I do. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zoe, for joining in. Thank you. So anyway, let me turn this down a little bit. I'm listening to Marvin Sapp, hair loss specialist. What we talking about? Okay, today we're going to be talking about male pattern baldness. Okay, and what it is. And I'm also going to show you a diagram and some pictures and things like that. Yeah, oops. Male pattern baldness do not only happen to men, but it also happens to women. So I want to talk about that tonight and what it is. I have a lot of questions about it, and can their hair grow and can their hair grow back? And the answer is yes. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm TenishaBibbs. I'm a licensed cosmetologist educator. Yes, I'm a licensed cosmetologist educator. I'm also a wig expert and a hair loss practitioner. So I want to talk tonight about male pattern baldness. I think a lot of times we have questions and what happens when you start losing your hair, what to do, and some of those questions. Or you may have people in your family, your father, your brother, or your nephew that may be experiencing hair loss in some form of fashion. And a lot of times in your male pattern baldness, it just don't start at the front hairline. It may start, actually it does start at the front hairline and actually goes back. So I'm going to show you some pictures, and if you fall in that category, then this is great information for you to know and to see if you can actually grow your hair back. So what is male pattern hair loss? Is androgenetic alopecia. Okay, it's classified as androgenetic alopecia. I treat it as androgenetic alopecia. Hair loss resulting in thinning is known as alopecia. Okay, so when it relates to hormones and androgens and also genetics, okay, this is what the cause of this is what the cause of the hair loss is. Okay, number one is inherited condition. Close the door, please. It's an inherited condition. All right, I do apologize for that. It's an inherited condition, so that means you can get it from your father may have had it, or his father may have had it, things like that. So it's inherited. It's also genetic. It's also in your genes as well, so you can get it in that way as well. What happened though is the other day I began to talk about what was called DHT, and just like women, in men you have what's called a DHT, and DHT literally suffocates, which is testosterone. It suffocates the follicle so that the hair will not grow. Okay, it suffocates it, and it begins to shrink that hair or miniaturize that hair over the course of time. I'm going to show you a graph in about 2 seconds so you will see how that process happens. And then as your hair begins to shrink, it starts to break. And so you go through this male pattern baldness issue. All right, so let me just show you a diagram of what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to show you a diagram of what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Okay, let's look at this portion right here. All right, so as you can see in C1, the hair begins to start balding. Well, not really balding. It starts to have this line here. Looks like a part, right? So it starts to thin out right in here. Then in two, it opens up a little bit more. And if you can look at the hairline, look at the difference in the hairline, okay? It starts to go back here on the sides versus the front picture. Then it starts here, it goes back a little bit more, and the part begins to open up some more. Then as you can see here in the front, it begins to thin out, okay? And it still pushes back. So this is over the course of time, all right? Then here it is again now, and then you actually see there is no hairline there, okay? It's actually gone. So that's a part of androgenetic alopecia. Now the hair is gone here, and then if you see from the back portion of it, it begins to split. And now you see here it begins to thin, and then it thins and thins until it gets to this point here. All right? In A1, the same thing. It begins to thin right in here as a circle, okay? And then the circle gets bigger, bigger, bigger until it looks like that, okay? What happened is that in this process right here, you have what's called DHT. DHT shrinks hair follicles. And in this diagram, you see the terminal hair here. The DHT sits right here on the papilla, and then it begins to miniaturize, okay? Then it gets smaller and smaller as it goes, and this is what happens here, okay? This is what happens here. So that's basically what happens to why you end up losing your hair. What I do for my men that go through hair loss issues, I put them in what's called my natural hair program. When I put them in the natural hair program, I'm going to tell you exactly what that consists of. The natural hair program consists of any non-genetic conditions, androgenetic alopecia, all right? This is a program that you could be in 6 months to a year. And not only that, but you get what's called a scalp prep. Scalp prep is going to remove all of the sebum that is left in the hair. Now, sebum on the follicles do not break your hair, do not cause hair loss. The DHT in the sebum causes hair loss. Okay, so sebum do not cause hair loss. It's the DHT, which is the testosterone that's in the sebum, that causes the hair loss. All right. You also get like a BioCare shampoo. This BioCare is going to remove all of any DHT that's left in the hair. It's going to also remove that, and you get an extreme DHT inhibitor. What is DHT? It's testosterone. It's actually testosterone that sits on the papilla, which is the base of the base. So DHT, which is testosterone, okay? Dihydrotestosterone is this testosterone that sits at the base of the hair bulb, and it suffocates the hair bulb to causing it to miniaturize, okay? So it causes, the DHT causes the hair to shrink over the course of time. And as it begins to shrink, you will begin to lose hair. And that's where you'll see balding and all of that. So with my men, I put them in our natural hair boost system with the laser. So the laser is going to help bring moisture and nurture and strength to that hair to where you can start seeing hair grow. So once you look up under a scope, you will probably see the small terminal hairs in there. And then if you see those small terminal hairs in there, that is going to help cause the hair to grow over the course of time. Now, one thing I can say is you did not lose it easy, because if you've seen the graph, it's not an overnight process. It takes some time, okay? It takes some time for that hair for you to lose that hair. It may even take years for you to lose that hair. So it's not going to take overnight, but you can do what's called a non-surgical hair replacement, which is a hair piece that men are doing now. They're actually putting hair pieces on to enhance their look until their hair comes in. I recommend that. All right. And I do carry they used to call them toupees, but now they're wigs for men. And so I do carry those. They come custom made. they come custom made on how you want them, the density that you want. If you want it full in the front, if you don't want it full in the front, if you want it part, all of that. So it comes in the quality that you want it to come into, and the textures that you want it to come into. Okay. Along with doing the hair replacement, you also want to be in the natural hair boost system with the laser, because it's going to help grow your hair up underneath your custom wig. Okay, so we do custom wig for men as well. Custom wigs are just not for women. All right, so I wanted to jump on tonight to give you guys a brief understanding of what male pattern baldness is, and also female pattern baldness is nothing different. It's pretty much the same. Hey, Mr. Biggs. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that tonight, and I greatly appreciate you guys jumping on. If you guys have any questions, I can answer those questions. Good evening. Answer those questions. When I tell you guys, the system is absolutely phenomenal for men who are losing their hair. And one thing I know is that can we grow out hair back? Yes, you can actually grow your hair back. If there is a papilla in your follicle, you can actually grow that hair back. Some people don't want to go through surgical hair replacement because it could be very painful for them. You know what I mean? But we do non-surgical replacement. You could use a custom wig while taking care of your hair up under that custom wig. Okay. And some of the systems that I use, because of the fact that male pattern baldness is androgenetic, then I use a natural hair boost system with the laser treatment to help pull that follicle through pull that hair strand through the follicle. Okay. So you guys, thank you so much for jumping on. If you have any more questions, I would love to answer them. What products can we use to grow our hair back? You can actually go on my website. It's thecustomwigs.com. If you go into the contact form and fill out your information, I'll be getting in contact with and making appointments on tomorrow so that I can actually discuss the hair loss with you, because with this hair loss you just can't really get it. I have to have some questions answered and things like that. Make sure that you're not allergic to certain things, and make sure that your health, and we go if your health is in great condition, or if you have different issues, then I'll know which program to actually put you in. Okay, so if you can jump on thecustomwigs.com and go to my contact form, and I would definitely get in contact with you to answer your question, or to do a consultation with you. Yes, I absolutely do sell the products. So once I do a consultation with you, then I'll send you the information in reference to, because I'm in Maryland. That's fine. If you can jump on the custom wigs with an s.com, hit the contact form for me, and I'll get in contact with you. I'm doing all of my consultation calls tomorrow, so I can also put you on the list for that, and get in contact with you so I can go ahead and get your hair programmed to you. All right. So thank you guys so much for jumping on. Those of you who know me, I'm TenishaBibbs, licensed cosmetologist, educator, wig expert, and hair loss practitioner. I thank you guys for sharing this with your followers, and those of you who are watching this by replay, thank you. I'll do that right now. Absolutely. Watching this by replay, thank you for the loves and heart and sharing this with your followers. And until tomorrow, we're going to be jumping on and talking about female pattern alopecia, and there's a slight difference in them, but I want to go ahead and discuss that so you guys can know the difference. Okay, thank you so much, and I greatly appreciate you guys. Love you, and you have a wonderful evening.